Have you ever been home alone and felt an unnerving presence lurking in the shadows? Or perhaps the paralyzing fear of a clown's sinister grin? As our tale unfolds, imagine a solitary, hushed house nestled in the heart of nowhere, besieged by a tempestuous night. Our protagonist finds themselves alone, the silence amplifying an uncanny sensation of dread that creeps up their spine. The wind becomes a banshee, wailing through the skeletal trees that surround the house, while the rain conducts a symphony of fear, each drop hammering against the window panes like a frantic heartbeat. And then, through the looking glass, a horrifying spectacle. The vague silhouette of a clown, its face shrouded in the ominous black of the night. A macabre apparition that makes the blood run cold. As the protagonist's heart pounded in their chest, they asked themselves, was it just their imagination? Or was there really something out there? The protagonist grappled to suppress their fears. Still, the haunting image of the clown persisted. It felt as if the clown's grotesque visage, grotesque grin and painted face were imprinted on the inner canvas of their eyelids. They fought to shake off the looming sense of dread, engrossing themselves in the most mundane of tasks. A steaming mug of tea, a nonsensical sitcom on the television, even the hypnotic rhythm of the clock ticking. Anything to shift focus from the persistent terror. Every glimpse of motion in their peripheral vision morphed into the clown's animated silhouette. Every creak that the aged house made was the mimicry of his exaggerated shoes clattering on the wooden floor. Each gust of wind whistling through the foliage became his hysterical laughter carried on the zephyr. Finally, they made the choice to confront their fear. Taking a deep breath, they moved towards the window, straining their eyes into the pitch-black night outside, their gaze darting, trying to distinguish any forms or movements. But the clown was absent. In his stead, a lone balloon, as red as fresh-spilt blood, was attached to their gatepost. It swayed in the gusty wind, a grim jest of their terror. Then the laughter started. It was a soft chuckle at first, a distant echo carried by the wind, but it amplified, becoming more persistent. It was a laughter that was simultaneously childlike and sinister, filled with a joy that sent a cold shiver down their spine. It seemed to resonate from every direction, bouncing off the house walls, the trees in the yard, even the celestial bodies in the sky. And then it was within their head. It reverberated around their cerebrum, filling their mind with its eerie glee. It was a laughter that hinted at untold terrors, grinning countenances, and capering shadows. It was a laughter that guaranteed no exit, no relief, only the relentless stalking of the clown. The protagonist felt a frigid shudder inch down their spine. The laughter seemed to emanate from all directions and nowhere simultaneously. The clown was absent, but his aura lingered, as menacing as the undulating balloon and as spine-chilling as the resonating laughter. The protagonist, now on edge, tried to convince themselves it was all just a prank. But things were about to get far worse. As the moon hung heavy in the sky, the protagonists found themselves pacing the length of their home, double-checking the locks on each door and window. Yet the chilling laughter of the clown only grew louder, filling the night air with a foreboding echo that made their heart pound against their ribcage. Each tick of the clock heightened their sense of dread. The silence outside was deafening, broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves. Every shadow seemed to take the form of the clown, the sinister figure that had haunted their solitude. Then, through the murky darkness of the night, they saw it again. The clown, closer this time, its eyes gleaming with a malevolent glow. The sight was a grotesque parody of joy, a caricature of laughter that sent shivers down their spine. Suddenly, a creaking sound resonated through the silence. It was faint but unmistakable, the sound of old wood bending under pressure, the sound of their back door. Their hearts skipped a beat. With a sense of impending doom, they rushed towards the sound. As they navigated the dimly lit hallway, each step felt like an eternity. The laughter seemed to follow them, growing louder and more haunting. Their breath hitched as they reached the end of the hallway. The sight that met their eyes was a chilling confirmation of their worst fears. The back door, it was ajar. Not wide open, but just enough to let the cold night air seep in, bringing with it an insidious sense of dread. They'd been too late. The house, their sanctuary, had been breached. Their mind raced. The laughter echoed. The dread set in. The clown was no longer an outside threat. It was inside. Inside their home. The place they'd locked themselves in for safety was now a trap. The protagonist's blood ran cold. The clown was inside the house. With the clown now inside, the protagonist's fear turned into sheer terror. An icy dread filled the air, creeping into every corner of the house. The protagonist, finding a sliver of courage, sought refuge in the upstairs bedroom, barricading the door with a heavy dresser. As the heart pounded in the chest like a frenzied drummer, the protagonist fumbled to dial 911 on the phone. Each ring echoed in the silence, a chilling reminder of the impending danger. Suddenly, a sound cut through the silence. A grotesque laughter, a sound that could curdle blood. It echoed through the house, bouncing off the walls, twisting and turning into a sickening symphony. The clown was toying with the fear, savoring the terror. The laughter grew louder, closer, a sure sign that the predator was closing in on its prey. The protagonist, clutching the phone in a sweaty grip, pressed harder against the door as if willing it to hold. The laughter was now accompanied by the soft, eerie sound of footsteps, dragging on the wooden floor, inching closer. Just as the protagonist thought the heart would burst from the sheer terror, a welcome sound. The line connected with emergency services. A voice, calm and assuring, seeped through the speaker. 911, what's your emergency? But before the protagonist could utter a word, a shadow appeared under the door. The clown. The laughter stopped. The shadow's hand reached for the door handle, its fingers curling around it, ready to turn. But the question remains, will help arrive in time? Our protagonist's fate hangs in the balance. So, will you dare to join us again next time? Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the chilling conclusion. Until then, remember, not all clowns are here to make you laugh.